Hey folks, Basil here, and welcome to 2012. No longer 2011. Who knew that time kept continuing? Sorry that we haven't posted an OSMcast lately. 2011 was a hard year. It was a year where it started off with Eric's mom passing away, and then mid in the year, my mom passed away. And then I recorded an episode with some wonderful fellows online. And then, unfortunately, promptly after that, James, our wonderful producer, his mother passed away. We were going to take a break to grieve and stuff because she was a great woman. All our moms were. But then in mid-December, Eric passed away. The same Eric that was part of the OSMcast. A founding member of the OSMcast. In fact, he was a member of the OSMcast before we were calling it OSMcast. Back when it was originally going to be the Awesome Blog, and then we decided to do an OSMcast to go on the blog, and then Eric and myself decided we were too lazy to write things, we just talk about them, and so we just made the OSMcast. One of the funniest men I ever knew, one of the smartest men I ever knew, 28, through a clot. He had a heart condition, but the doctors thought it'd be too dangerous to operate. But we're going to miss him. Miss him a lot. Miss him a terrible lot. But the show, not gone, not done, not by a long shot. We're going to keep recording episodes, putting out episodes. It's a new year, a new start. But this podcast is now dedicated to Eric for being awesome. Anyways, we're going to follow up this little statement of mine to say, whoops, sorry, and welcome back with the conversation I had with some wonderful, wonderful gentlemen online. It was a wonderful little Skype conversation that sort of covers the gambit of all sorts of random things that I don't really remember anymore. I'm the one stuck editing, so don't expect many editing. But between now and then, we're going to be back, we're going to record episodes. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. It better be a good year. It has to be good. Because we're going to make it that way. So, between then and now, how about some crazy chocobo? Hi folks, it's Basil from the OSMcast, the only part of this podcast that's actually from the OSMcast. You see, upcoming at the day of this release, which is the release of Modern Warfare 3, that's how auspicious it is. This Saturday, I'm involved in a mini-con done by the Hamacon group in Huntsville, Alabama, and I've been so busy working on that I haven't actually time to set up an actual OSMcast proper. So on Twitter, I threw up the awesome signal, and people actually showed up. It's amazing. Social networking's crazy. So with us, in order of what's on my computer screen, we've got John from the Chainsaw Buffet podcast.
Yo.
Nico from MTAC, as well as Cinegeek.
Hello.
Patrick from Insert Disc and Podlabor.
Yo.
And Dylan, also from the Chainsaw Buffet podcast.
Hey.
And so now we have no clue what we're going to do because this has no plans, no ideas. It was just, I need to get something recorded. And these poor saps decided to say sure.
You've got more listeners than we do, so I was like, why not?
Yeah,
we're going to take over. We're going to take over everybody else's podcast until everyone's heard of Chainsaw Buffet and then refuse to go listen to it.
So basically, it's a mathematical decision.
Yes, it's not even that. I would go on a podcast that had fewer listeners than we did. I will just whore myself out to anybody.
I mean, even if they have fewer listeners, they might be different listeners.
Exactly. I mean, I can almost guarantee it because we know all of our listeners personally, and most of them don't even care.
So the one person I know who has done something at least recently, someone I hear went to NecoCon.
No, that's a lie.
Oh, okay. Crap. My plans are foiled.
But yes, I did go to NecoCon this past weekend, which was actually surprisingly good. This was my third year going there. And for those who don't know, NecoCon is a relatively small con in Southeast Virginia. And this was my third year going to it. It was also the 14th year of the convention. And it was the first one where I actually said, yeah, this was a really good time. So
you went 2 years and decided to still go a third year until you
even though I wasn't liking it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's dedication.
Well, it's because it's 20 minutes from my house. So
There are a lot of
just
things
not
that are.
liking it, or were you hating it? Because there's a difference.
There's a difference.
it's not that it's not that I hate it. It was that it just wasn't all that interesting, I guess. The programming was really crappy. So there just wasn't enough going on. And the first 2 years I went, I was doing panels there as well.
So you
that gave
contributed
me,
to the crappy programming.
Well, mine was the good programming.
Sure.
See,
Of course it was.
I'm going to my programming because I did it. The problem is there's no programming.
You know, I know a lot of people who don't go to their own programming, so that doesn't necessarily say anything.
Well, the problem is there's no other programming for me to go to. So I didn't have anything to do most of the time I was there, and it started to feel like I was just wasting my time. But thankfully, as a mix of they got a new programming head who actually put some effort into having like real panels and things like that. So there was stuff to do the whole weekend.
Mhm.
And just knowing more people going there, I ended up enjoying it a lot more, to the point that I'd actually say, yeah, it's worth going to. Because there's two local cons, one in November and one in June, and they kind of hate each other. And I've always liked the other one a lot more, but this one was actually worth going to for once. So
Good old
I think
con
that's-
hatred.
but
Con feud.
I think there were a lot of cool panels, but I think probably my favorite thing of the weekend is that I'm holding a copy of Kaiser's Skull on Blu-ray right now, and that doesn't come out for another month. And Media Blasters had it way early.
Well,
So-
I would hope so. They made it.
Now I can safely say I'm now jealous.
So that was really cool. What's his name?
I really need to get a copy of Skull.
Skull's
Oh.
good.
It is so good, and the Blu-ray was only $20.
Holy
So-
crap.
That's a really good price.
Yeah, you
Particularly
can't
for
not
Blu-ray.
buy it for that price. I don't know how good of a Blu-ray it is because I haven't watched it yet because that was 2 days ago. But it was awesome on DVD. So, also, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who's heading up Sentai Filmworks now.
David Williams?
Yeah, David Williams was there. And I've never really gone to any panels with him in the past, just because by the time I started getting active in conventions and going to more conventions, all the shit with ADV and things started going down, and they just weren't showing up at conventions for a while. But I was really surprised at how candid he is about everything at his panels, and how he'll just say whatever the hell's on his mind.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's a fun guy.
He was pretty cool. And
Yeah, I've been to a couple of his things at Anime Week in Atlanta.
Yeah.
yeah,
Particularly
he's cool.
particularly right after all the stuff with ADV happened, and that was particularly interesting. He was still making the Atlanta trips in the middle of all of that.
Oh man. Yeah, he was pretty cool but the thing, this is a positive and a negative, I guess, to this con. It, like most smaller cons, skews really young, and basically any panel with him, or there was a guy from Bandai there, amounted to 10 people in the room. No exaggerations. One of them being me at every one of these panels. So it was basically a sit there and ask every question you can think of event until everyone was just completely exhausted of questions and everyone's just standing around awkwardly going, well, I don't know what else to do anymore.
Man, you should have totally taken a microphone with you and totally did an impromptu interview because you were asking all the questions anyway.
Yeah, I know. Or just recorded it at all.
Right.
I wasn't expecting that. But I friends that did panels there and everything they were doing had packed rooms. But when you name something when you're doing a panel about Final Fantasy, you're gonna get a packed room. When it's some random guy from anime company, the really hardcore industry nerds are the only ones that show up.
Yeah, it's pretty much if you're not one of the big voice actors, no one cares about what you do. So,
Yeah.
Which is sad because those jobs are the more interesting jobs.
Yeah, they are. And another guy that was there was, I always get his name wrong, Toshifumi Yoshida. I think if I got his name right. He used to work for Viz, and then he worked for Bandai, and now he's the producer of Pokemon in the US. And he was pretty cool because he's been doing the shit for 20 years, and he's done it in a lot of different capacities. He's the guy who directed the dub for Kurokami when it was airing in the US 8 hours after it aired in Japan.
I remember that.
And I asked him about that, and he's just like, yeah, that was probably the most insane thing I've ever done, and I never want to do that again. Because that sounds like the most intense experience on Earth. Because he said they basically recorded the dubs to the animatics. They didn't have full episodes until right before it would go to air.
That had to have been fun.
Oh, it was probably a miserable experience. But, I mean, I won a copy of High School of the Dead on Blu-ray while I was there, too.
Awesome.
Which I've never seen and know. The extent of my knowledge to High School of the Dead is that it's high school, zombies, and there's that scene with the bullet that shoots through the boobs.
Yep.
That's all you really
I'm
need.
assuming, yeah. That's
You're
all
all
I
caught
really
up.
Right.
That's pretty much the show. Right there. That's pretty much the show.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
It was a fun show. You don't need your brain. Just check that at the door and just watch it.
Yes.
All right.
It really just depends on how much. For me, the juxtaposition of the Japanese style fan service and the more actual Western style zombie stuff, for me, totally clashed in my brain, and I didn't like it. But I know everybody else who's not me does.
No, I had the same reaction. I mean, the violence wouldn't have bothered me, and the fan service wouldn't have bothered me alone. Together, it was just creepy.
It really does have some creepy moments, particularly when the zombies are basically chowing down on the very fan servicey characters, and they're trying to make that instance a lot of fan service. That doesn't work well.
Yeah.
I think I know the scene that you're talking about, Nico, because there's one in the first episode, and it always sticks with me. I think that how you feel about that scene will really determine a lot about how you feel about that show, where there's these two random girls, and I'm not spoiling anything because this is like the first 10 minutes of the first episode.
It's details. It's like,
but
there's an example.
There are these two characters that, are not in the main cast. They're running along from the zombies, hand in hand, talking about how they're best friends forever. And suddenly, one girl gets grabbed, on the ankle by a zombie that's down on a stairwell. And, she's pulling on her friend, trying to use her as leverage to get the zombie off of her. And just in an instant, she turns on her and says, get off me, bitch, and kicks her down the stairs. And, you see panties going up as, zombies are chowing down on her. And really, you just see, like, the waist down and she's upside down. So it's like, okay, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that's the same scene.
Yeah.
That's the scene where I turned it off.
That's the scene where I'm like, that's fucked up, but let's see what else they do.
That's
Well,
pretty
I mean,
much the most fucked up it gets. It's not really any worse, as far as I can remember.
No, it really wasn't.
I've watched more of it, but it's just, that sort of thing kind of stuck with me. So I'm kind of like, I don't know.
It's a good threshold bar to just get that out of the way in the first episode. If you can't stand with this, you probably won't like the rest of the episode, the rest of the series. But if you're okay, then let's go.
Yeah.
Well, that's logical, I guess. And is the animation half decent?
Oh, the animation's great.
Yeah, I had no problems with the animation.
It's Madhouse doing their Madhouse thing.
Yeah,
Alright.
it helps that it's only like 12 episodes.
Yeah. There is talk of a second season, and the series does end on a cliffhanger.
And the manga goes longer too, so there's enough material.
I have trepidation about the second season if it does get made, because they spent the entire first season avoiding every zombie movie trope, by and large. It was a fairly fresh take on the zombie apocalypse sort of deal. And then, the setup that they have at the end of the series is just like, okay, we're running headlong into the tropes now. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, what's his name? John Williams David Williams. Yeah.
The guy who did the music for Star Wars and Superman?
Yeah, that guy.
Yes, that guy.
Someone asked him about more High School of the Dead. He's like, please, I want there to be more High School of the Dead.
I bet this actually makes them bank.
No, he's basically said it's the best-selling title they've had in years.
I would not be surprised.
No.
Like, you know what's the weird thing is they said that their number 2 is Demon King Daimo, which looks especially awful. So
that doesn't bode well. But they did pick up the rights to Persona 4, and I think they said at Anime Week in Atlanta they're looking at getting the English dub cast from the game, which I really hope they do, because I enjoyed the hell out of that game. And I will buy that day one. I don't care if it's got the dub, because I'm like the only dub fan in America. I will buy that. Sentai can ask whatever price they want from me for the dubbed Persona 4 Blu-ray.
I find the older I get, I guess, I prefer dubs over subs, just because I don't have time to read.
Damn straight.
I like to keep things on in the background so I can hear it. And anytime I get a review copy of something and it's sub only, I'm just cringing, because then I actually have to pay attention.
Yes,
There's no multitasking.
You have to pay attention to what you're reviewing. Yes, that's terrible. Just terrible.
That's maybe not something you want to admit.
Or maybe it is.
Then you have to pay attention to the words. You're not watching the animation or anything. Just that little, lower quarter of the screen.
Well, whatever. After doing this for so many years, for me, it's second nature. To the point where even I'm watching like America stuff, I tend to throw on the closed captioning anyways.
Well, you're just being elitist.
I'm good at it.
That's always interesting to see the difference, though, if you're watching, subbed with the dub on, and just see what the difference is between the scripts.
yeah, that always can be fun, and then you can tell pretty quickly when something's dub titles or something like that anyway.
Going back, High School of the Dead did have some very Americanized moments in it. There was one point in it where they make a Sarah Palin joke.
Yes.
In the
Was
dub.
that in the original, or was that?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the original, but I know it was in the dub. I don't recall seeing it in the subtitles.
I'm really impressed when they do that, when they take the time to do that. Like, Desert Punk was that way.
I loved that show's dub.
Yeah, and it was just because they cared enough to actually, adapt it. Because comedy doesn't really work.
Yeah, I was about to say, so, depending on the joke, sometimes you have to.
Yeah, comedy in general, I don't mind when they adapt something, especially when it's something like crude comedy, things like that.
I
lends
think
itself to adaptation.
I think what they did, whoever did it on Shin-Chan, like, that's one of the best barometers of what you really can do.
Oh yeah.
When you dub something comedically, because Japanese humor is so not what we normally associate as humor in the U.S. at all.
It's a much different, or their humor is much different than ours. So
like it's either puns, which that I'm okay with, or we're going to reference stuff. Isn't that funny that we reference stuff? Oh man, here's another reference. We just reference some stuff. It's very rare to actually, honestly, got humor. I think the last time I really watched a good show that was just humorous on its own merits, I think it was like Level E, which was hilarious.
Well, I mean, we in America have our own problems with a lot of referential comedy. I mean,
It is true.
So, I mean, look at Big Bang Theory. There's a lot of referential comedy to a lot of geeky tropes.
And I hate
Family
that
Guy.
show.
Family Guy references
God,
itself.
Family
It is
Guy.
a snake eating its own tail.
See, I
Well,
like Big Bang Theory a lot of times, but I'm just so played out of Family Guy.
Yeah, I got tired of Family Guy probably, honestly, right when it came back to Fox.
That's kind of sad because I was watching Family Guy when it first aired on Fox, and I liked it then. And I feel bad because it's not the show I liked anymore.
Well, I think Family Guy actually, in its early seasons, does the best job of explaining what's wrong with it now, because there's one episode in one of the early seasons where Peter makes this joke. It's kind of like MASH before Alan Alda took control behind the camera and the show got all preachy and stuff. That's basically what happened to Family Guy, was that Seth MacFarlane got way too much power at Fox, and he decided to turn Family Guy into his own personal sounding board.
But even he himself has already gone on the record saying, yeah, I think we've played out Family Guy as far as we can run with it, but it still makes money, so we're just going to keep going.
Yeah, he said he wanted to end it. It probably should have ended around season like 6 or 7, but Fox still keeps throwing money, so I'll keep making the show. Why not?
Well, I mean, he's the highest paid man in television. For a reason. These stupid shows make a lot of money, so they keep letting him do them, and they just keep coming out.
It's weird because the Cleveland show is kind of a mess for me, but I may not be its target audience. But for some reason, American Dad has kind of surpassed Family Guy in a way.
The American Dad never worked for me.
It didn't work early, but they kind of hit their stride, a few seasons in, and the last couple of seasons have been pretty decent. And but this season's just been weird. Like this season, it got on the Family Guy, we're just gonna do whatever the hell we want to, batshit weird kind of train. So I don't know. Fox is hurting because they're gonna wrap The Simpsons up soon, and unless Mike
were
Judge
stalled on
wants
The Simpsons. They were almost going to can The Simpsons this upcoming season, but everyone took a pay cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's I think that'll only last so long before Fox finally decides to just let it die.
Yeah, I think they'll let it die at 25. I think that's what they'll do.
And, the thing is, Seth MacFarlane has a, update of the Flintstones in development right now.
That's gonna be so terrible.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Because he there's interviews where he talks about how, to him, the Flintstones was his biggest influence. But it's dude, you can't do that. You're not as good as you think you are.
I don't know. I think a shot could be made. It's so weird to be in a generation where kids growing up only know the Flintstones from cereal and vitamins. So it would be nice to see some modern modern as cavemen could be, interpretation of the Flintstones on television.
Well, they're a modern Stone Age family.
This is true.
Look, they took the chick off of Powerpuff Girl, My Little Pony, right? Let her have Flintstones. Let's have like Stone Age's magic. I mean, come on.
On another show though. She's working. Damn, what is it called? It's hilarious. It's like
The Flintstones.
she's working for DC, and she's working on a show. I want to say it's called The Super Best Friends Forever, and it's about some female superheroes. I can't remember which ones. Which is a shame because My Little Pony, she did pretty good on.
I wouldn't know. I honestly wouldn't know. I don't get the hub, and frankly, I'm probably better off for it.
It's all on you.
I feel like I need to make a point to watch that show, but I have not yet.
That's because Charlie and Basil have this hold over you, Dylan.
It's not a hold. It's just like, it's easy to take cheap shots at it, and I actually want to see if I like the show or if it's just a thing because it's a thing.
Watching My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic will not make you 20% cooler, no matter how many shirts say otherwise.
Yeah, it will.
Honestly, I don't think I'm, I'm not exactly at the top of coolness right now, so
I am. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Might as well give it a shot. Try anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But that said, John, if you watch it, you're gonna like it.
I'm sure I will. At this point, I'm just using the fact that I can't watch it. Like, there is no way for me to watch it legally, and I don't do the illegal stream thing. I just don't. I can use it to just kind of, I don't know, be a dick. We'll just go with that.
Well, my personal view on it, and I've watched half of the first season, is it's a really good kids show. The end. And everyone kind of blows it out of proportion, but it's a really likable kids show, and I can understand why people like it. Just maybe not, it's not, the be-all, end-all show.
No, that's Adventure Time.
Yeah, that would be a fair assessment.
Or regular show. Regular show is pretty amazing.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And I'll tell you, the amount of Adventure Time cosplay I saw this weekend was ridiculous.
People are all over that shit.
Like, I saw more Adventure Time than I saw Hitalia.
Thank God for that.
That is moving in a great direction.
Yes, I think we can all get behind this.
But the elitist part of me, I'll have to admit, goes, but that's not Japanese cartoons.
Oh, I didn't tell you this. Well, the convention's theme was steampunk.
But,
Don't try to fight it. There's nothing you can do at this point.
Just bend over.
Rabble, rabble, dang kids. Rabble, rabble.
I saw a steampunk pedo bear.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, I am all that. I am the stalwart that holds my convention from the brink of being Steam Pig Con. Because our con chair, we started HamaCon because she wanted to make it a con that her kid could go to and actually have a good time at. But she's not terribly into anime herself, but she is into steampunk.
Oh no.
And so I'm always like, now Michelle, we can't have Steam Pig Con. I'm just saying. And thankfully she knows that. She understands that. We have a very, very, anime focused, mission statement more or less. And that we want to throw an anime con, and we try to keep it as anime con as we can. But, I know it's always on the brink. Just teetering. Waiting to consume.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I'm kind of excited for HamaCon next year after some of the discussions you and I had at GMX. I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, I might actually be able to go this year because it doesn't seem to be on the same weekend as two other cons.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it doesn't end up, I don't end up having a conflict this next year like I did this year.
No herpes this time, dude. Just no herpes.
No, that was all, and that was shingles, or at least that's what the person at the Minute Clinic said.
Which is a derivative of herpes.
Is not something to. What the hell? I'm
It's
never going to live that
digitized
down.
from herpes, yes. Speaking of digitized things, anyone play any video games lately?
My oh shit, my wallet November is not going to start for 1 week. I am foregoing Modern Warfare 3 at least for the time being. And as much as it pained me, I had to forego Assassin's Creed Revelations because it comes out on the same day as Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And then the week after that is King of Fighters 13. And the fighting game fan inside of me is just like, as much as I want to play Metal Gear Solid in HD and play Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Modern Warfare 3, I just don't have the money.
Yeah, I have the opposite problem that you do in that I just bought Metal Gear, then I'm getting Assassin's Creed next week.
Yeah.
But I'm also crazy in that I just finished Uncharted 3 last week.
Is Metal Gear out this week?
Yeah, I think so.
Metal Gear is out today.
Okay, damn.
It came out the same day as Modern Warfare, which let me tell you, when you work at a store that one might stop at to buy games, and you want to pick up your copy of Metal Gear, but that line goes out the door of people full of buying Modern Warfare, that sucks.
Yeah, that must suck. Like, I haven't really played anything. I want Uncharted. Uncharted 2 is easily one of my favorite games of this generation. I haven't gotten around to getting 3 yet, just because I'm waiting till I have more free time at the end of the semester. I'm not touching Modern Warfare. I want to play the campaign, but I'll just borrow my roommate's copy for that. And besides that, I want Metal Gear HD, and I'll get that eventually, and I'll get Assassin's Creed eventually. Like, every Assassin's Creed game, I always get it for Christmas, so I pretty much always wait and get that one for Christmas. And then I'll buy Uncharted.
Yeah, for me, Assassin's Creed is actually I think my favorite video game series this generation.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely very much a close tie between Uncharted and Assassin's Creed.
I honestly could not believe when I played Brotherhood last year how good the multiplayer on it was. I mean, it blew me away how balanced it was. Even if I was playing somebody who is significantly higher level, the weapons that you get are useful, but they're not game breaking. Like, you can still do well at a low level against somebody at a higher level. It really just comes down to how well you play, and that cannot be said for like Modern Warfare or Black Ops, where if you're matched with somebody that's a higher level than you, they've got distinctly better gear, and you're going to have an uphill climb.
It's true. I think it goes down to the fact that the way they designed that multiplayer component, just at its base level, is very skill-based on how well you can blend and how well you can actually assassin around. It might give you better tools as time goes on, but just that base mechanics they give you are actually what pulls you through the multiplayer, regardless what level you're actually at.
Yeah, I just love that style of multiplayer because it's so much fun just trying to blend in and watching the chaos ensue where you'll go after a target and somebody will come after you, and it's nuts. I love it.
It is a good time, but I can definitely tell you though, Patrick, that Uncharted 3 is a fun time. It is a fun time. It is not. I don't think it's as amazing as 2 in that all those big moments you got in 2, they kind of repeat in 3. But there are some really, really great moments in 3, and I think I like a lot of the aspects of the storyline more in 3. But that's also because I'm a gigantic Sully fan, and Sully really gets his props in this one. They really did make a Nate and Sully adventure, and oh my god, that was the greatest thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about it. I really want it. I really want to play it, but It's just not time. So
Oh
in
yeah,
a week
like
or two, I'm gonna buy it probably.
oh yeah, I would like no, it would if I was in a semester again this semester. If I was in school this semester, I'd be screwed. If
Yeah,
yeah, I would have waited on Uncharted myself if that were the case.
yeah.
But
This fall is pretty damn good because I really want to. Saints Row 3 is definitely at the top of my list too to get because that just looks absolutely insane. Is that out yet?
no, that comes out the 15th, like everything else.
Yeah.
What's the other big one on the 15th?
The 15th has Need for Speed: The Run, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3,
Woo!
Saints Row, Assassin's Creed, Rayman Origins, which looks gorgeous, and I think some other stuff that I'm not thinking about.
I got to play Rayman Origins at New York Comic Con a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really? How was it?
It's really nice. It's so pretty. Once you see it in motion, like in front of you, it's really, really pretty.
It's a really good thing I don't have any current generation systems.
Right. It's expensive this month, and next
Yeah.
month, and next month.
Oh,
Probably into February.
Like,
I
one of the cool things about it is, did you ever play New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii?
yeah.
It does the multiplayer the same way as that. So you have these big stages and you have 4 characters and one of them can fall and die and then you can pop their bubble to save them and shit like that. So it does the
nice.
same kind of multiplayer, but it's got a ton of stages and it's pretty looking and it's not a cheap ass game like New Super Mario Brothers was. So there's a lot to like about it, but I don't know if it's a $60 game, or at least in my mind. Because
Yeah,
I thought it was a download game, so I was surprised when they told me it was retail.
for what I understand, originally when they announced the game at first, it was a downloadable game, but it was going to be episodic.
Mm,
But then they changed their mind, and now it's a disc-based game, but you're getting the full game. They didn't break up into episodes. You're getting the entire thing in one lump. thing.
oh, okay.
So that's why, but the whole idea with the engine that the guy made was, Michael Ansel, I think his name is, was to create a engine that they can make games cheaper than they would normally. And now I'm like, all right, $60 game. Great.
Yeah. Mm.
And that's not even getting to Mario 3D Land, Mario Kart 7, and Zelda Skyward Sword. Oh God, my wallet.
Oh, that, in, Skyrim.
Oh yeah, it's Skyrim, yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but Skyrim's probably very close to the bottom of that list for me. And I was talking to someone about this, and I had to explain to him why I felt that way, and it's like, the last game was boring as shit.
And the game before that.
And yes, exactly.
Actually, I had a problem with Morrowind just because it was
It played like shit.
well, it was for hardcore players. Like you couldn't run everywhere. You had the stamina thing. I really got into Oblivion, and I will probably eventually pick up Skyrim, but when I have time.
I can't get into those type of RPGs, and I find myself once again being in a very strange minority where I enjoy a more linear RPG experience because I typically play RPGs for the storyline because most RPGs have shitty engines and they're all just derivative of one another. There are a few exceptions, but most of them aren't very fun to play. They're more fun to get the story out of. And so a game where there's a main narrative, but it doesn't really guide you anywhere, it's just kind of like, yeah, you can go and save the kingdom, or you can go do this other stuff, whatever. I mean, it's up to you. That doesn't really appeal to me. Having too much to do really means that I end up getting bored and not doing anything.
Yeah.
See, I get that, but for me, like this, especially this generation, and while there's a couple of standouts, otherwise, the really great storytelling this generation is not with RPGs. It's stuff like Assassin's Creed and Uncharted, I think, are some of the best storytelling vehicles there is. this generation. And I guess even stuff like Mass Effect, which is another really good one, is half action.
Right. I think that's fair. But I think the problem is that the RPG as a genre, with a few exceptions, has not evolved quite the way that we had hoped this generation. They're still relying on a lot of the same tropes that they did before.
And a lot of those tropes have not aged well.
No.
Well, a lot of those.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say a lot of those same tropes are still popular in 1990s anime.
Yes. Listen, the 90s were a halcyon day when it came to anime. Nothing will ever quite be like the 90s in anime. Nothing.
But so many Japanese RPGs still try. Like, I don't know if you've played Soul to Robo yet for the DS.
Nope.
It's a CyberConnect 2 game for the DS. That's kind of it was sort of their own little pet project where it's furries and giant robots. It's a lot of fun, but it really feels like the thing comes straight out of like 1990s era anime. Or the other really good RPG I played this past year, I guess it was this year, was Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky for the PSP. And that is probably the best role-playing game I've played this year. And it also felt very Lunar-y in its story and tone, which is very 1990s anime.
I loved Lunar back in the day. Speaking of 90s anime and games, has anyone else played or downloaded Guardian Heroes off of Xbox Live yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that game's still amazing.
Yes, and of course I also own a Saturn with the actual copy of the game too.
Yes, somewhere in an undisclosed location there is a Saturn sitting somewhere with copies of Guardian Heroes and Dragon Force and whatever the hell else I had on that thing. Probably a copy of Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold.
You're not mentioning the most important Saturn game to be released digital recently.
Daytona USA?
Daytona!
Let's go away.
Let's go away.
God, that game was the best purchase I have made on the PSN in a long time. God, like, the first couple days I'd already played it, I don't know how many hours. Like, the first night I downloaded it, I was sitting around playing online, and I looked up and it was 4 hours later. I'm like, wait, how did this game, of all things, suck me in that hard?
I was very tempted to force Hamicon for Minicon, our video game director, to force him to do a Daytona karaoke tournament.
Oh man, that would be so awesome.
I was very tempted to go, you're doing this. Instead, I'm making him use my copy of Puyo Puyo Sun for the Saturn to be one of the tournaments.
Love it.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice.
Like, he was like, what do we do, Puyo Pop? I'm like, no. I have a Saturn, I have actual Puyo Puyo. You're using this.
Excellent. Oh man. Oh. Sorry, there was a loud noise. I thought I was being attacked by monsters.
Oh,
well,
that happens.
Are you safe? Sir. Are you good? Are you good? Are you?
No monsters at the moment.
Oh, good.
That you know of.
Yep. Not yet. So, something I got a kick out of? At one of the panels this weekend, there was, what's his name? David Williams, and then some guy from Bandai. And then someone asks them, hey, why don't you guys do those limited editions anymore like you used to for all your DVDs and shit?
God.
And so they both give them answers. First, the Bandai guy's like, well, yeah, we used to do those limited editions, but, well, like, the logical answer is, well, in order to make these things affordable, you have to make so many of them, and then you end up with a bunch of extra shit. And then he's basically like, and if you've gone to any Bandai panels at big cons, you know this. He basically said, yeah, at our warehouse, we've just got pallets of shit that was like extra items for DVDs and stuff like that.
There's
like,
there's an anime convention's mailing list of anime cons and representatives could just sign up for it, just get emails from. And there was a Bandai representative a couple of months back who just said, "Hey, any cons want Bandai like property shirts of like Gundam and Escaflowne and random other series that we've done before? Just like email and pay for cost of shipping, and you could have boxes."
Yeah. They have pallets of shit. Like, I remember at, where was this? Otakon this past year at their big panel. They always give away crap. Last year they put a t-shirt on every chair in the room. This year they brought out, you know those big, U-boats that like grocery stores and stuff use? They brought out one of those packed with boxes of those little, Gurren Lagann backpacks that they used to, that came with the DVDs. And so they gave those away to however many hundred people were in this panel room. Then a couple days later, I'm at home and I'm looking on their website, on their store, because I was looking for something. And I find that same backpack for sale on their store for $5. And it's like, limited edition, only such and such many left. It's like, you guys
You're such
made
liars.
so many of these things. You
But
probably
hey,
have.
It technically is limited. It's just the number is extremely high.
It's like, it's 10,000 that it's limited to is the problem.
We're limited to overnight. Oh.
But now we know how Nico could afford all those T-shirts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks, Funimation.
I also got a Razafon t-shirt because that was what, David Williams was like, hey, I'm just giving away Razafon t-shirts because we can't get rid of them.
You know, I'm going to repeat something I heard from Dylan. Who was it that said this? There's somebody in Atlanta.
I don't know. He did the philosophy and anime panel like several years ago.
Yeah, but he made a joke. He said, "You know why there's an X in Razafon? It's so you know to cross it off your list."
I think Right Stuff has, like, I think they originally put those into boxes. Right Stuff
Yeah.
had them for like $3, so I have like 2, because one of them got worn out, or, it's white, so it stains, so it's like, sold. I wish.
Yeah. I still only have 2 Nico shirts. I couldn't get any at Comic-Con, so.
Oh, and either way, they just stuff them in the bags. Like, when you registered, you just got a Nico shirt this time.
Nice.
It got even better. On, I think, Sunday, they had security people just walking down the hallways giving out extra Nico Doga shirts.
Did they have red ones there?
No, they were all white that I saw.
Because Comic-Con, they had some red ones, but I only saw a few of them. They were giving them away in bags from Viz, I think, but I never got one of the bags, because I didn't find out till after the fact that I could have gotten a Nico shirt from there. It's like, Nico, yay! I will advertise your website that I totally use all the time.
I've totally heard of before Anime Week in Atlanta.
Yeah. Although, going back to a previous conversation, I don't want special editions anymore. I just want bricks.
Yep.
Just give me box sets. I don't need any more extra crap. I just need your discs at an affordable price. What the hell are you doing with Madoka? Now it's not going to sell, you bastards.
Well, that worked when they were doing like 6 discs for a series, but it just doesn't fit into the industry as it exists now.
No one wants to buy singles. No one wants to buy singles anymore, so that's why no one wants, get the box set with the first volume in a t-shirt so you can put all your other volumes in it. No, I just want the series now.
Yeah, when people are willing to just, download this stuff online illegally, what do they care?
Yeah, you only have so much you can do. Something I like that Funimation started doing though I haven't bought any of them because they haven't done it for any shows I give a shit about, is they've started doing like a limited edition version of, when they sell a show, they always do everything in 13 episode packs. So They'll have part 1 and part 2. There will be a limited edition of part 1 that's in a small, it's in a special art box that you can put part 2 into. Simple. Nothing fancy about it. It's just a little extra box and it's like an extra $5 or $10 and it maybe comes with an art book or something like that.
And that's fine. That sounds good.
Because
That's as much as you need to do. And the best thing about that is it's actually limited edition. Like, a couple weeks after they come out, they get hard to find.
And that's also not excessive, like the 6 volumes in a box. You get 1 volume and the 2 volumes, and then you're done. So it's not as difficult. You don't have to stick with it for multiple years at a point to try to get that box filled.
Yeah, it's like, it's not Lucky Star.
Thank God.
So, I think that was the moment where everyone went, yeah, let's stop doing these forever.
Yeah, sadly, I don't think Aniplex has figured that out yet, because I think they're, like I said, they're Madoka Magica. They're still doing it where you're buying the individual,
Well, I think Madoka
singles.
is a special situation where that was the only way they could that's the only way they were allowed to release that. Like, they could do it that way, or they could not release it for another 2 years. Those were their options. And it's
Which-
also only available through Right Stuff, and it expressly says they will not ship it out of the country.
That is so dumb.
Yes.
They are paranoid about that show.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that, unfortunately, that is, and I get why they're doing it. They're not paranoid for the U.S. They're paranoid for Japan.
Yeah.
And that whole dreaded reverse importation crap, because they can't, price things decently in Japan either. It's just a crappy business model from the ground up that I really wish they would stop doing. But I really can't make them stop, so I can always rant about it in podcasts.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth ranting about on a regular basis, because it's really retarded. But somehow Media Blasters was allowed to release Skull on DVD, or on Blu-ray this quick, so I'm okay with that.
That's true. And when I've already got my pre-order up on Amazon, so as soon as it hits, I'll be checking it out myself.
I was actually shocked that was there, because I was convinced that wasn't going to come out anywhere near on time.
Right.
Because nothing from Media Blasters ever comes out anywhere near on time.
It's true. I'm just thrilled that we're at the very least we're getting Red Light in January and not in April.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
and that better be playing at every con next year.
Oh, I at least guarantee you in Huntsville you're good.
Like, I think if the next local con I go to is until June, but I think if I go there I'm probably going to KatsuCon in February, so that's probably a better example. If I go there and I look at the video programming and it's not playing, I'm going to probably actively find whoever's the head of video programming and make them play it
At
some
gunpoint.
point.
They're going to bring your
Yes.
copy so you can just shove it in their hand and
Yes,
put
I'm gonna
this
be like,
in.
play this. I don't care whatever room you want, but play this. It needs to be played here.
That's what I'm going to do at MTAC. Just warning you, Nico.
I do not run video programming, so feel free.
He doesn't give a shit.
Not his problem.
No, he's got enough jackals to deal with.
And then after 3 years, it'll finally play at Otakon.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, the con that the flippin' chair of Madhouse goes to every year doesn't manage to get this movie.
Yeah,
That I
that
would never understand.
I was actually really hoping to see Red Lion at Otakon this year. And, well, I was really glad I had to see the FMA movie and the Makoto Shinkai film. I have a feeling that instead of that, in Red Lion, we got Tekken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the live action Tekken or
The
Blood
CGI
Vengeance.
one.
The new
that's
CGI one.
well, not as good as Redline, but it's better than getting the live action one.
Oh god, the live action one was so bad.
Oh, I
I love that
Terri-
the guy who played Shang Tsung in the live action Mortal Kombat movie was the guy who played Heihachi in the live action Tekken movie.
why not?
Yeah.
Oh man, though, God, I remember that because they made a big deal out of it. They were plugging it as the how did they put it? The 2D premiere of the movie.
Yeah, the 2D premiere. This is not playing on a 3D screen, so therefore it's 2D, and because the first time we're doing it is 2D, it's a premiere. Ain't that great, guys?
It's special.
Huh?
No. Can't even get me to pretend that was a good idea. It's
Like,
when they can produce a movie that makes me question Dai Sato's legitimacy, I start to worry. So it's like someone that's been involved in so many of my favorite works, doing something like that is kind of depressing.
Yeah. At least the Trigun, at least they had the English voice, the dub version that they could premiere.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
had
that was
a
kind of
decent
cool.
lineup there, honestly. None of it was bad, I don't think. Except for the Tekken movie. But
Yeah, no, Otakon really did, they did a really good job of premieres this year, I think. They did a really good job of doing a bunch of neat, here's a bunch of films you're not going to be able to see anywhere else, and also Tekken.
I just want to go ahead and throw this out. I thought it was Dai Sato, but I wanted to make sure before I jumped in with this comment. There's something else besides Tekken that made me question him, and that something was called Eureka 7. Or as I like to call it, they put a fucking heart in the moon at the end!
See, Eureka 7 is probably my
The worst show
favorite
ever.
show ever.
I actually don't mind Eureka 7 that much.
I absolutely adored that show.
Yeah.
It would have been okay if it hadn't have stolen freely from like 7 different anime series I can think of off the top of my head.
Most mecha series anyway is stealing from another one.
I understand, but when it turns out that, Eureka's not human? Really? I didn't guess that. Wait, the place that they were looking for was Earth? Never seen that either. No, fuck this show. When somebody gets it looks like they're dying, mecha explosion thing, and then they're just sitting on top of the wreckage, unscathed, as if they were in the opening for G.I. Joe where the plane crashes, and G.I. Joe just runs out like nothing fucking happened. That's when I say, no, sorry Eureka 7, I'm signing off. These are facts.
Tell us how you really feel.
I always do, Dylan. I always do.
I didn't mind what little I saw of Eureka 7, except I remember always having that kind of feeling of, well, I was going to say, quiet, the kids are, the adults are talking, but yeah, that's what the characters were.
For me, well, that's actually my opinion of Code Geass. But, Eureka 7, for me, it had a strong start and a strong ending. The middle part just sounded really drug. Like halfway through, it felt like the cast was lost and they weren't sure what they were doing. But they did such a good job of showing that off in the anime that I felt that the animation staff also didn't know what they were doing or where they were going with it, because they were just stuck in this cave for a bazillion episodes, it felt like. But then once Renton struck off on his own and actually met the awesome married couple, it started getting better again.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, and that's a common trope in mecha shows to have the main character strike out on their own, and they kind of mature because of it. I mean, it happened in Gundam.
Bury the robot in the sand.
Yes. Let's hide the Gundam in the sand. I'm gonna go hang out with Rambaral.
or they can try and strike off on their own several times and never really quite grow up ever.
Now,
Except in a recent remake movie where somebody finally grows a pair of balls and goes into beast mode, but it was cool.
For me, I think the new king of not having an original bone in his body is, I think, Sacred 7, where you got the guy who looks like he's from Black Butler and the girl that's in a clamp thing and a guy who's more or less Squall without a face scar, and then you now have a random maid army.
Yeah, I only watched the first episode of that. there was nothing about it that was enough to make me want to keep watching it except the animation. And I'm watching it and I'm like, why does this have the animation budget? All of this should have been going to Tiger and Bunny, you assholes.
Yes, like this show showed me that no, Sunrise can still do awesome looking people in suits of armor and stuff without resorting to CG. Why did this show not get CG, but Tiger and Bunny was full of it?
Like,
Well, I mean, some of the other reasons for Tiger and Bunny is because it's easier to overlay the changing company graphics, since they're just heavily advertising on all their suits.
That's true.
Which I think is an interesting gimmick anyway, both story-wise and, hey, we'll be shameless and put our commercials in the middle of the show on our characters.
Yeah.
The only, like, explanation I've made for it, in my head at least, is that, besides what you mentioned about the ads, which does make sense, is, that Sacred 7 was an easy bet. It was gonna get viewers. It's nothing special, but that's not a bad thing, I guess, financially. Tiger and Bunny was a flip of a coin, I think. It got made, but it didn't have a major budget because they weren't expecting it to be as big as it was. And then it was as big as it was. So now we're at this moment where it's like, why did you waste your time on this stupid show? We're also at a moment where if I want to get the damn toys to that show, I gotta shell out way too damn much money. So, at this past weekend at Nico, I found Tiger and Bunny, the Fig Arts toys, and they were both marked up to $80 a pop.
Woo!
Jeez.
I lucked out.
I have that same problem every time I look up, like, Kamen Rider SH Figure Arts at cons, and they're worth way more than what they are online.
Yeah, I looked up, I got Tiger at Comic-Con for $55, and that's because someone had them special shipped in just for the con to sell. So I was very, very happy when I found that one. God knows how long it'll be till I find the next one I want. I do have Sky High on pre-order.
Nice, although
Probably my favorite thing about these toys is on the back. It's got all the features, and one of the features is product placement.
Oh, but speaking of CG, man, why does Berserk have to now look like a 360 game? Like, I don't know if anyone's seen the trailer for the new Berserk, movies they're doing.
No, I haven't seen any of the trailers.
It's actually it's that same sort of Appleseed anime, but all actually CG
Oh God, I
models.
hate that.
Like, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted.
Now, you know what trailer I have seen that I'm really hyped about? Is the
Phoenix Wright?
Wright? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is so weird in live action.
It works though. It looks right.
It does, but
See what they did there? It looks
Oh.
right.
objection!
Take
Uh,
that!
Like, in
I
terms of the
yell at the
Berserk
movie?
movie, though, honestly, the trailer for it has that same kind of look, but it's so much better done than the Appleseed and that kind of shit.
I would hope
It-
so.
it-
It's been like 6 years since Appleseed came out.
Right?
Yeah, but
That's
this is
the
Japan,
secret.
and when has CG ever evolved in Japan?
Good point.
But this looks like they might have put some actual money behind it. Granted, it is Berserk. But
And I'll grant you that I also saw the trailer for the Cyborg 009, which is using the same style, but I think because it's, a futuristic thing about cyborg stuff in the future, the CG feels more like thematically correct, whereas Berserk is like, medieval hard fantasy. And for me, I think that's a thematic also disconnect.
I think something else is Berserk kind of looks a bit more realistic in its art styling anyway, whereas Cyborg 009 is the classic Shotaro Shinomori, very animated, simplified style, so it works probably a bit better in that CGI aspect.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's also a movie I'm looking forward to.
and that's also Production IG behind it, isn't it? Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that always helps. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm more interested in that than Berserk for sure. Kenji Kamiyama adapting Cyborg 009. That's all you need to tell me. I was sold immediately. Granted, I was a little nervous when I found out it was CG, but
For me, it was more Cyborg 009. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And this one will actually get, subtitled.
It might actually get released here in a complete format because it's just a
Yeah.
movie.
And it's not. Oh, that also reminds me of the whole the newer version of the Astro Boy cartoon they did in the early aughts, where we only got like the dubbed version
Oh yeah, I remember
in
that.
America.
Yeah.
That ticked me off so much.
We didn't even get a full release of the Cyborg 009, the 2000 series.
We didn't like.
We got
And
10
I don't think-
episodes.
I don't think Tokyo Pop ever finished releasing the manga, did they?
Probably
No.
not.
They did a decent amount considering what it was. I can't really fault them for canceling that one because I can't believe that sold anywhere near decent.
I would agree.
But they released a decent amount. Sony screwed the pooch on the anime, and to the point that it's really hard to get. I managed to find most of it online through a little effort, but I'm still kind of annoyed by that one because I really want that show proper.
Yeah, me too. Although, man, and speaking of robots, though, I didn't realize it because I wouldn't have thought of it. But I finally got a copy of Udon's release of the Mega Man Mega X graphic novels.
hmm
No,
They're really good. Like, they're really good. They're better than anything based off Mega Man has a right to be. I was very, very shocked when I discovered I bought a copy on a whim and realized, wait, this is a really good take on Mega Man. And as a graphic novel, wow. So if you haven't checked those out yet, check them out. They're fun books. It helps that they sort of, they play very, very fast and loose with the plots from the video games. Where sometimes what they'll do is they'll go, and then Mega Man saved the world, and here's a side story involving the same characters. So you still get him fighting these robot masters in different ways, but it's not quite like, just repeating the video game as a book.
that's cool.
So, yeah, like, I was just really shocked. I'm like, wow, this is, and whoever's writing it knows his Mega Man, like, really well. And so it actually kind of works. And also his comics based off Mega Man Soccer are way better than the video game ever had a right to be.
Did you say soccer?
Oh yeah, they did a Super Nintendo or Super
Yeah.
Famicom game,
Yeah, I
I
Mega Man
remember
Soccer.
that one, yeah.
And apparently to promote it, that they got this guy to do a bunch of Mega Man comics back in the day about the Mega Man characters playing soccer. And he had a much better idea on how to actually do that than the video game makers did.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know. I've mixed feelings about the Mega Man franchise these days. It's one of those things where it needs to still be around, but they need to really think about what they do before they just go out and release something.
Well, I would say I would like it to still be around, but in all honesty, it's not around anymore. As far as we know, there's no Mega Man games in development right now.
No,
Which is why I went and bought some manga. It's also actually the recent Kodansha release of the Phoenix Wright manga is also really good. They actually got an actual mystery writer to actually pen the actual storylines. And so they're actual good mysteries that are very, very reminiscent of the Phoenix Wright stuff. Even to the fact where they'll actually throw in little game cues, like at some point Phoenix will throw out incorrect evidence, or he'll catch the wrong statement and the judge will reprimand him for it.
love it.
And since, we're not getting the next Miles Edgeworth game, because Capcom's like, yeah, we don't want to spend that money and risk not making money, so we're not going to do it. So for me, I'm like, well, I'll buy these manga because that's the closest thing I'm going to get to any new Phoenix Wright stuff, apparently.
Until the movie.
Yeah, until the movie.
There's a decent chance that the Phoenix Wright Layton game will get out here, and that's only because of level 5.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think the Professor Layton stuff will get it over here, not the Phoenix Wright side.
Yeah.
I think they'll both come over here. But I don't know. That's just Capcom got a very interesting take on things right now, and some things I like how they're doing, and other things I don't. Like, I kind of like the decision not to release Mega Man Legends 3 on the 3DS. I understand that fans of that series are upset that the game got canceled, but I really think they should have demanded more than a handheld game on a system that nobody bought in the first place. They should have at least demanded that it get like a proper high def console release. Even if it was like a downloadable game or something like that.
Well, I think the problem with that is that, like, Inafune had been trying to get them to make that game for years. They just could never justify making it because the series just never really sold that well.
No.
And he finally managed to convince them to make it. And all these fans are all really excited about it. I'm one of them. And then they go and they just take it all away. And it's kind of like, it's being told that, hey, you're finally going to get the conclusion to that story. It's like saying, like, I'm trying to think of a good metaphor for it.
It's like getting most of the discs for 009, but then not all of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like getting all but the last volume of something. Like, they cancel it and don't release the last volume.
And what's worse is that, people, there were some editors who actually got to play the game, and it turns out what they played of it was in fact pretty good. The game was on track of being a good game, and they still canceled it.
Yeah.
It's just a bum deal no matter what. And John, you're lucky because the one group that seems to know what they're doing at Capcom to actually appease their fans is the guys who make the fighting games.
That's a fact. Although the Mega Man fans are still a little pissy, and that Mega Man's not in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. And of course, I say I've got my Mega Man character in that game. Fuck Mega Man. I don't need him.
I don't even know about that though, because they've been pissing them off just as much as everybody else lately.
Like, no, because the fighting game fans are the only people I know who are happy to spend $40 more on a video game they bought in February.
I don't know. I know plenty of them that are pissed that they got to spend $40 more on a video game they bought in February.
I'm not. But
I think
go ahead.
Marvel isn't actually their biggest problem in terms of fighting games. Like, they can maintain that with that game because it's such a likable game in general, and $40 isn't insane. Where they're gonna be getting their shit, and they're gonna keep getting their shit, is with Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Well, their problem is actually kind of Ono, because I love the guy. He's a fun guy, but there are times with like the release of Arcade Edition, which was horribly balanced, that it just seems like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And I'm willing to kind of take a flyer on Street Fighter Cross Tekken for the time being, because it is sort of in that versus mold, and they keep saying, yeah, the gem system is kind of wonky, but just wait, we hear your feedback, we're working on it. Plus, there's some things about it that you don't know yet, so just kind of chill. I'm willing to take a flyer on that until we actually see a little bit more of the game.
I think I just naturally have a hard time trusting Capcom anymore. So it gets really hard to be forgiving to them. I do want Ultimate Marvel, and I'll get it. I'm definitely not going to buy it right away, though. for a million reasons, obviously, but
I can't think of one reason not to buy it. I'm gonna get day one. It's $40. I've already paid for it. There will be combo videos coming out on YouTube from me. I have told my employer that I'm going to the doctor, and if anyone asks, I'm going to Dr. Light. We're going into the lab and we're going to run some tests.
Okay.
That's going to happen. So expect
Do you have your-
Twitter to blow up with a lot of incomprehensible shit on the
Do you have your
15th.
doctor's note ready?
I do.
Yeah, see, but you there was actually a very prolific now, or getting more prolific by the day, fighting group in Huntsville. Like we've actually now fostered a little fighting game community, and they're all hyped for Marvel, and for them they totally are buying the fact that they're getting 12 characters. It's cheaper to pay $40 now than getting them all as DLC, which I understand that argument because you look at Mortal Kombat. They paid $20 for, 4 more characters. You did that, 12 characters, it'd be like $80. And so I get that, but it's like, man, it's been less than a year. For me, that sounds really crazy.
The story behind that is, and this is a story I was told, and it kind of makes sense because this is kind of excessive even for Capcom or say Activision or EA. Who are far worse about it than Capcom is, yet Capcom's the one who gets most of the shit, is that all the stuff that's in Ultimate was originally planned as DLC, but the game came out in February, and then they were starting development on the DLC content, and then the earthquake hit. And that threw things off so badly that by the time that they got around to getting back to work, it had thrown off their schedule bad enough to where they said, let's, go ahead and rebalance everything, work on some of the online issues, and just go ahead and do a, disc release at a lower price and just kind of go with it that way, which still kind of shitty, I understand in a way, because you're not really getting anything for having bought the game in the first place, at the beginning of the year, but, The 12 new characters look interesting. Phoenix Wright looks ridiculous, both in a good and bad sense. There's gonna be some fun stuff in that game, and I'm just looking forward to it. It's gonna be worth the money for me. Your mileage may vary.
Though that said, I am kind of looking forward to seeing what happens with Soul Calibur 5 or 6 or whatever the next one is.
5. It's got Ezio in it.
Yeah, which is the best inclusion they've done yet.
That's true, because he actually kind of fits in with the timeline and everything.
Yeah, I don't think they've had a better idea as an included character since Link.
Right. Link was fun. But it's not been the same since Soul Calibur 2. I'll freely admit to that.
And, they'll give Ezio props. He's now automatically the best voice-acted character in Soul Calibur.
Mm-hmm.
Just by default, because I think they're using the same guy.
Roger Craig Smith, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my magic voice actor powers.
Thank God for that.
Right? It served me well.
Yeah. And that said, it's been like a little over an hour, so I think, unless anyone has other topics, I think we're good.
I got nothing.
Nope.
No, I can't think of anything.
We could start talking about how certain fighting game tournament over the weekend decided to charge $8.95 for a premium stream, but I think we'll save that for later.
Yeah, that seems a little bit out of my milieu to discuss.
Let's just say it was a bad idea.
Okay, I'll give you that. Well, guys, thanks for coming on.
No
It was a
problem.
blast having y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem. And thanks for everyone who is listening, that are listening. You should totally check out the Chainsaw Buffet podcast, Insert Disc, which features Pod Labor, Cinegeek, MTech, Hamacon, check out all these things.
It's a lot of
And-
stuff.
Spend
A lot
money
of
by
stuff.
now.
Do it.
Yeah. And hopefully for the next OSMcast, it'll something be actually planned and organized. We'll see. But on that note, we are out.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Whoosh. Bye, Dr. Nick.